Welcome to the very first Wizard World virtual experience. We are bringing you this very exciting virtual experience tonight with the cast of Supernatural, and we're very excited for all of you to be here. Let's bring them out. I am super excited. We're going to introduce them one at a time. You know this gentleman from Battlestar Galactica, Leverage, Firefly, and Doom Patrol. He is the king of hell. Please give it up for Mark Sheppard, everybody. The crowd is applauding at home.
Woohoo! Yeah!
There they are. All right, next up, star of theater and Broadway. We saw her most recently as the armorer in The Mandalorian. Please give it up for The Darkness, Emily Swallow.
Yeah!
Emily Swallow playing with her virtual background already. I love it. All right, next up, we know him well from Xena, Judging Amy, Psych. Please get up for Cain, Timothy Omundson. There he is. All right, next up, professional dancer, star of countless BBC originals, the voice currently of Merida. You know her as Rowena. Please give it up for Ruth Connell.
Yeah!
Hey. Oh man, it conveniently plays Entertainment Weekly.
Quarantine meeting.
But certainly not least, star of countless television films. We know him very much from General Hospital, but he played Balthazar on Supernatural. Please give it up for Sebastian Roché. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. First off, I'm going to speak for all the fans. There are a ton of them. I see people from Australia, Italy, Europe, the Americas, all over the place tuning in right now for this amazing experience. This is the very first one of these that we are doing. And so I would like to just give a shout out to all 5 of you for just joining us for this first one. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts as fans. It's an extremely tough time right now. And just you providing this for us, it brings a little levity, to the situation. So I want to get started. I want to kick things off because I want to get all to you. This was going to be my first question, but we're also seeing it from a lot of folks out there in the Twitchverse. CPMPP 87, Kalian 89. They're all asking, it's a very strange time in the world today. What we'd like to know from each of you is how have you been keeping busy during the quarantine? And with all the negative news coming out and just negative sort of reactions, what positive things you're seeing either in your region or just online, anything like that. So again, how are you keeping busy? And then what positive things are you starting to see? Or do you have any messages to spread positive attitudes out there?
Who's going to start talking?
Sebastian, you.
Like you.
Okay, I'll start talking. Yeah, I mean, we're keeping, I'm very lucky to be with my wife. And we're keeping busy by staying extremely lucky man, very lucky man that I am. We're keeping very busy actually by staying extremely active as much as we can. We've started actually making masks. So we basically ordered a sewing machine, and I cut the fabric and Ali sews. And we're trying to make as many as we can. We went the other day to Marina del Rey Cedars-Sinai Hospital, where there were all these extraordinary, young, cheerful volunteers. And we gave them the mask, and they were very, very happy about that. I just want to send a message of love to all the people who are confined in really small spaces. We love you. We think about you every day. And, I really want to send a huge, huge amount of love to the doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals, and the essential workers, the people who are in groceries, who are delivering food, truck drivers, people who work at Amazon. If I've forgotten you, I'm sorry, but we send you so much love. We think about you daily, and, we'd love to give you a big round of applause. Every single day, we think about you. We love you, and we empathize.
Absolutely, Sebastian. And there's no particular order here. Folks are seeing you in whatever order that they are seeing from their end. So whoever wants to go can just do a little raise of the hand.
I think it's really interesting that it's becoming obvious who the real key workers are in our society, and that they're being recognized. And I hope that coming out of all this, there will be a shift. I think there can't not be a shift, and people like that will be rewarded. and that there will be a rebalance, hopefully, with the way that society is and the way that we're all paid and looked after. I think there could be some real good that comes out of this, especially if we all do our fair share of the quarantining. Never mind quarantinis, depending on how you roll at night. Yeah.
It's a popular beverage, the vitamins, the emergency plus your liquor of choice. Very nice. Yeah. Up next, what are you doing to pass the time, and a positive message you have for the fans out there? Emma, you want to take it?
I'm going to go. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to piggyback on that, and how I've just been so inspired and uplifted during this time at seeing how people are coming together. And even though we are separated physically, I have spent a lot of my time mastering the Zoom conference call. And as you can see, I selected my own background with Amara. And it's so strange because I find, friends who I know very well, but I've maybe never been to their houses. Now I get to see inside their house. There's something so intimate about that. I spent the last couple of weeks trying not to catch the Rona from my husband because he came down with it. He had a mercifully mild case compared to what a lot of people are dealing with. But it definitely put me on heightened alert. And I've just never been so aware of, how I come into contact with people and what barriers there are. But I really just do think that the more we are separated physically, I'm finding the more people are reaching out and trying to come together in other ways. And I'm amazed by these big companies that are putting in all this money to make masks, to make gowns, to put their monetary needs aside and to just respond to this huge aching need that has suddenly become so apparent. It's horrible that we've been pushed to this crisis, but I think because we're in this crisis, people are just stepping up to the call in ways that maybe they didn't even know they could.
Yeah, we're seeing who the good guys are.
Yeah.
Well, we're seeing a lot of good guys, I think.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of good guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's something we need to remember, which is that things like this, events like this in our history, show us who we really are and what we can really be. And I don't think we will ever be the same as a result of this. It's no longer okay just to follow the paths of solitude and greed and exclusion. Is that we're beginning to understand that if we don't look after those who are around us and we don't care about those who are around us, a lot of people are going to fall and never be able to get back up again. It was a really simple quote. I never thought about it this way, but it was a really simple quote. I think John Oliver said it, which is, we don't get flu shots for us. We get flu shots for everybody else. We don't, it's the idea that we need to be socially aware that what we do or what we don't do has such a massive impact on everybody else. It's not about protecting yourself as much as it is actually about protecting the health and welfare and the livelihoods of everybody else around us. I mean, we're privileged people. I speak for myself, but I think my friends would agree. We're privileged people. There's nobody chasing us right now. We have the ability to quarantine. We're not out there digging ditches or having to, do any of these jobs from day to day, from moment to moment, and we're exceptionally lucky. It's going to be tough on everybody, but we have a responsibility. We're a country that is bigger than the sum of its parts. We're one of the most benevolent societies that's ever existed, and this is going to level out very, very clearly and show how we should behave with each other and what we should do for each other. And this echoes, bringing it back around to you guys, on the other end of your computers. I've seen this movement growing with the supernatural family, especially over years. I've seen the fact that people help people. They do it without the, regard for, privacy and monetary cost and everything else. There's people putting their hands out to other people. We have a lot of fans who have mental health issues, seem to be drawn to the show very much so because of the themes of our show and the care and the benevolence of the themes of our shows. But we've seen this, and we've seen this movement towards towards good and help and kindness. And I'm proud of all of you out there for all of the things that you do in our names, and that you come in behind us and support our causes and the things we believe in. And it's beautiful and it's amazing to watch. I just hope the world catches on at this point.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. There's just so you know at home, they're not able to see it necessarily your live feeds coming in, but there are hearts and you speak the truth marks out there right now, and just a lot of love and support, and folks again crying through text through all of your sentiments so far. So they really appreciate it. Tim, I'd love to turn to you too for this question. Just how are you doing? Like, what have you been doing the past time, and how's things going on your end?
Hey everybody, we're doing good in the house. It's, my wife and my kids and my dog Lucy. Kids are doing classes online, often on my computer, so I'm not really able to mess with my computer. So I steal it back from them. They can take a break from school that day. There's been quite a bit of alcohol. Catching up on a lot of TV that my wife and I have not had the chance to really focus in on. Lots of Twitter, lots of reaching out to old friends and fans that I haven't really, just friends I haven't really talked to in a long time, just checking on them, seeing how they're doing, and trying to connect with. I mean, there's a couple of fans that are international that I've been able to kind of DM on Twitter and just check and see how they're. And for me, it's really opened up. Just speaking with those people, saying Italy, Clara, you know who I'm talking about. Like, it's really opened my eyes up to the rest of the world and really what's going on. Maybe not in my neighborhood, but how difficult lockdown has been on some people.
It's all about connection, right? I mean, what's amazing is that and you've all said this in a different way, that we're actually finding that we're connecting more as human beings, even though we're stuck in these little virtual boxes. If you look at the outpouring of folks just watching at home, I think that's the important thing from this. And what I would love to say again as a fan, and to represent all the fans out there that are hearing you right now, is of course we have to support our first responders, but those folks need a break as well. And so the entertainment industry, for you to come out here and do this and provide those people who are working 16 18 hour days with this brief respite and this sort of connection to reality for a one moment is super awesome. So again, thank you all for being out here. Thank you all for sharing that sentiment. Ruth, you started to kind of chime in there. I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have something to add?
No, I was just going to say it, like, thank you. Like, it's so awesome to be able to feel like we can contribute at all. And I just want to give a special shout out to Rachel Miner, who runs Random Acts, which is a charity very much associated with the supernatural fandom. And, Misha set it up. They're all volunteers, and they're looking at specific causes right now to help with COVID-19. So if you do feel like donating, I'm sure they would gratefully receive it. Rachel herself is immunocompromised and works all the time running this charity for no money with like 250 volunteers from the fandom. So I just want to give Random Acts a massive shout out, and to Rachel at this time. She's going through a hard time because she can't go out and even have people come in and help her right now. So I love you, Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's get to some of these fan questions. And again, I apologize ahead of time to the fans. I know you're all enjoying what you're watching, and there are questions galore coming through, and we're going to try to get to as many of these as possible. If this goes really well and we have these awesome people available, we will definitely do it again in the future. But I'd like to talk a little bit about this virtual setting. This question comes from Sci-Fi Vision. There are a ton of SBN Con regulars out there in the Twitch verse right now. And they
guys.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's all hashtag SBN families and loves and shout outs going on. One, I'd love to hear from anyone, how your experiences have been in the past and at those cons. And if you see, again, specifically from Sci-Fi Vision, do you think a virtual convention is something you could see doing in the future, sometime after the quarantine? More people could see this panel this way from all around the world. So I'd love to hear just your experiences at conventions in general, not necessarily SBN Con, but cons in general, and sort of that fan interaction, and then how you can see it working virtually as well.
Yeah, I could speak for myself that the experience of doing cons is incredible. Of course, doing it in a virtual form is wonderful in this time, but the contact with the fans one-on-one and in front of a crowd is pretty unique. So as far as I'm concerned, you can feed off the energy of the people. And it's something that is quite unique that, if no one's actually experienced that, we are going to miss that, because I think it's going to be a bit difficult in the future for the coming future. But I really embrace this form of virtual convention. I think it's really wonderful. It's also wonderful to see my, fellow mates, actors.
We're all being so polite. This is not what it was like in the dress rehearsal. We're talking over each other and talking shit at each other. We're being so polite.
Yeah, we're being so
Sebastian.
polite. I know. It's true. I was like, "Where's Mark Sheppard? Where's Mark?" I knew you were going to have a stogie.
Show everybody that stogie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Oh, Siri. Sorry.
Siri wants to get in on it too. Everyone wants to be part of the virtual convention.
Sorry. That's more like me.
Language,
I mean, I think that nothing can ever replace that in-person experience of being at the conventions, and that community that is assembled. We have the greater community of the fandom, but then at every single one of these conventions, there's a little mini community that's set up for a few days that is just such a beautiful thing. But what I love about this is that it's accessible to so many more people. I do love that people, who otherwise wouldn't be able to take the time and the money to travel can, they don't have to pay to hear us dither on about ridiculous things. They can do it for free.
What do I click on to see people's reactions? Can we see people's reactions by any chance?
You can. If you go to, I can send it to you in the chat there, Sebastian. So let's continue. No, it's okay. I'll get you the live stream.
Sebastian, I don't know if you want to look at it. You might not like,
I like the negative, the positive.
There's been a lot of love for Ruth and her jacket.
Yes.
Nice.
Then just straight hate for you, Sebastian. No, I'm kidding.
Straight hate.
So it's business as usual, right?
I made the effort to dress up as my character.
Oh.
Which is actually the way I dress pretty much every day.
A lot of effort.
Hold on. I wanted to ask Timothy a question. I want to ask you. So, do you remember the first time you did a supernatural convention?
Yes.
But you remember the feeling?
Remember.
How old are you and Mark?
Sorry.
Wait, do you remember
Back in the day.
Were you there? Was that can you tell me what's...
No. I'm saying just like we're talking about the idea of virtual cons as opposed to the actual event of being. Do you remember that feeling, that first time you walked out on a stage?
I was terrified.
I just remember sort of the wave of love coming up at me.
It's mind-blowing. It's really I don't think this will ever replace what we have as live performers. We're all people, all five of us here, spend time on stage and performing. But that energy, that breathing, that love from our audience, while currently it's dangerous, I would miss that more than anything, because it's the looking into people's faces when they're asking you a question and trying to read what it is that they're actually trying to say and what it is that they've been spending 3 months waiting to come up and ask you. And they sometimes just don't have the ability to put it into words, and just having that moment with somebody where they're going.
I never answer questions, start singing and jumping. No, me.
You just answer them.
Like eye contact.
Oh,
okay. Emily, you on the screen.
Oh, look at that. Who's that?
Wait, this is Norma Jean Meatballs.
Oh my God, so
She's made an appearance. I'm going to take away the virtual background so it doesn't blur her.
Norma Jean Meatballs?
Yeah.
So what's the nickname? Hi. What's the nickname for Norma Jean Meatballs?
She goes by Norma.
Norma.
Hello, Norma. Waiting room at Macy's.
What a cute.
This is actually, I have curtains on my bed so that the light can go away. I can't let you see my bed though.
Emily, you just broke the Twitch feed with your dog. It just
it went crazy.
I'm bringing my kids out. I've had enough.
Bring Isabella.
I feel like Norma needs to come and be an emotional support dog for Amara.
She does.
Well, let's talk a little bit. Obviously, we're not going to get into the nitty gritty of in this time period of like specific episodes or specific things. But my gosh, like 15 seasons, which we're all waiting on in bated breath for the final ones. I know we get this. We got almost a penultimate season followed by this unfortunate break, and then we're so excited for like the final 7, I think, right? Or 6.
I think it's the universe just didn't want Supernatural to end, so it's delayed it even longer. Like we've got to wait on the final 7.
Sad about it ending got their wish because it's not going to now.
It's never going to.
I hold the deal on that, right?
We're so excited to see what wraps up. Ruth and Emily, I know you had a chance to come back for the final season, which has been awesome. You all kind of came into the series at different times, but one common theme that's coming into the thread right now, from specifically from Hollywood Squad, is you all have had, let's say, some bad characters, or at least some bad. There's been some anti-hero moments. They've all been, but I feel like you've all been demons, and they're just curious. Do you prefer the bad guy in all of your acting and your career? Or did you like the good guy better, even though most of you played baddish people on
Never played a bad guy in my life.
Same with me.
Never will. Never have.
Me.
Might have a slightly different moral compass than the rest of the characters in the show, but I've never played a bad guy in my life. Never will.
I think misunderstood is a better way to say
That's your problem, not mine.
Just because somebody's frisky and knows what they want, I don't know. I don't think there's a problem with that.
Oh, it is fun to see.
Yeah.
No, for me, bad guys are always more fun.
And as you know, I never play bad guys. Never play. Only Nazis, deadly vampires.
Well, I think
is there such a thing as a not deadly vampire?
Or a good Nazi.
On a good day.
A benign vampire.
A failed vampire.
You obviously don't have a 4-year-old and watch Vampirina.
Oh, okay.
Failed vampire.
Vampirina is a very Disney-esque vampire that moved from Transylvania to Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. Oh, poor vampire. Sorry, Pennsylvania.
Sebastian, we're being reminded you did play a face-swapping evil doctor as well.
Which one?
I don't know.
Which one?
The one on the left.
I can't remember. The face. Oh, yes, the last thing I did. Yes, face-swapping evil doctor. Yes, that was really interesting. To actually have someone else's face, my face on someone else, and him peeling it off. And I thought to myself, how does that work really? Because the Mission Impossible thing was, you understood it, but this. Anyway, it was
did you swipe this off? Because that would be really evil.
Yeah.
We did it on Supernatural with shapeshifters. I did one where I cut my own head off.
Oh.
How'd that feel?
Oh, that's tricky.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was
anything on
We do
Supernatural.
not endorse this at home. These are not good ways to fill your time while you're quarantined.
Cutting your own head off or watching Supernatural?
Cutting your own head.
Oh, okay. Fine.
I don't know.
In answering the question a bit more, I found that in playing the gooder side of Rowena, which is not even a word, I actually felt more vulnerable. And there is something very tricky to playing somebody good and finding the nuance. And I do think it's fun to sit in the baddie kind of energy. It's very rewarding, but I found it more challenging to play more of a goodie. So I don't know what that says about me.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Well, I think that's a testament to the show, that these religious type figures and characters could be very one note and very black or white, good or evil. But what's kept us watching you all and the show for 15 years are the nuances of what it's like to be a bad person, but also have and shifting values. And I think that's what's so awesome and what's so well written about the show is we're seeing these quote unquote evil characters. I'm sorry, my quotes disappear in these shadows here. In a new light. And there's a question out there that a couple people have been reiterating in other ways. You all entered the series. Mark, obviously you were with the series the longest. A few of you came in around 10, 8, 9, 10, I think season 6. Yeah, 6, right? For you, Sebastian.
Just for one season.
Yeah.
Tim, when did you come in?
I think 3.
Oh, wow.
Season 3, wow.
Oh.
I'm the newest then. I was 11.
Actually, might have been later. Might have been 9.
It was 9 you came in.
I know it was after me. Yeah.
That was a
9 is a multiple of 3. You were just
very good. Did math at school.
That opening episode for Cain was one of my favorites I've ever seen.
So good.
Yeah, my favorite bit of all was you shucking corn while the fight was going on. That was absolutely amazing.
So good. So many good moments. So the question is for everyone. This is from Sophia STV Penn. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but Sophia STV Penn. Now that it's over, or now it's about to end, what are you going to miss most about filming with each other, being on set for this specific show? Any sort of memories. So what are you going to miss most about this series?
Well, that's for the guys who were still shooting it. So.
Yeah, or even your time, even when you were on.
When did I shoot? I shot mine in the Cretaceous. So, your turn, Ruth.
Jensen's freckles.
No.
He has freckles? No. Where?
He's got perfectly symmetrical.
Where are they?
I will really miss getting to be Rowena. I, from the bottom of my heart, can say that I have loved playing Rowena. I have loved being with the Canadian crew on set, all the people I have worked with, even Mark Sheppard. And, I will miss, in my very bones, I will miss the doing of it. The actual just getting to stand there with my sparkly eyeshadow and say my snark. I will miss
and those heels
and those 29-inch heels at the same height.
Were they really 20? How big were they?
No, sometimes they just would build me a ramp.
Oh, I see. Yeah, to be next to Jared.
Just to get close. Yeah, I will miss it so much, and I'm so glad the conventions will continue virtually or otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, the conventions are really extraordinary. It's like a traveling theater troupe. Every time when I started doing them, I remember the first day on set. Oh, hello, Isabella.
Miss Sebastian.
Hello, sweetie.
Hi,
hello.
Isabella.
Say hi.
It was really extraordinary. The first time I did a fan event, we started traveling as a troupe. And I actually know most of the actors, not through working, but, I knew Mark. Mark and I have known each other for a very long time. But, it was...
You worked with my dad.
I worked with his dad. We did the homecoming on stage together, which was really wonderful. And he was wonderful too.
And Alias.
Alias, it's true. Yeah. And the sense of a theater troupe and the humor and the sort of the friendships that started from doing these fan events was really wonderful. Really wonderful. It was truly a group of incredibly funny, intelligent people. And I really cherish that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people falling asleep on a green room floor around.
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. How many green room floors have we
sleeping on a European convention where you're just so gentle?
Oh, my God. I've slept so many times on the floor. Yeah.
In that corner.
I have to keep this story going for the fans watching at home. What is this floor sleeping story?
Well, when you're not meeting with fans, you all converge into a green room. The green room is basically, in the theater where all the actors hang out. And,
most of the proper kept.
Yes, yeah. And, most of the time we're jet lagged and very tired. So a lot of the time there are people sleeping, on the green room floor because there are, we aren't provided cots or king-size beds.
Well, no, actually, they did start bringing in cots finally this year.
Yeah.
They finally had mercy.
Yeah.
The underlying thing that you were saying, going back to that question, was the thing that I think unifying thing that we'll all miss is the people. I mean, the event itself, work is work, and we've all loved and enjoyed work, but the people are everything. And to be able to be part of something that had so many good people. And I've seen, other than Sebastian, who I know, I've seen the other three of you come in and make your mark and take your stand, which was extraordinary to watch. And seeing you walk into a seasoned group of people who have been together for a number of years and watch that develop and watch you find your own places in that. And it's an extraordinary thing. Everybody goes, oh yes, our sets are like family and oh yes, our show. It's just like it's not always like that. It really isn't always like that. You try your best. But the thing is Supernatural is 15 years. There are people who have worked there since day one. There's people who have been the backbone of that show forever. Sarah will tell you, we got married a few years ago, and I was it was a period, it was an amazing time. I was like, who the hell do I invite? I can't go around and ask some people because, you know, there's people you know well and people you don't know well, and I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. And Sarah said, why don't you just ask everybody? So
they all came.
And
they all came.
We were all there.
Mind-blowing how many people were there, and painters and again, the same thing that we've been talking about since the beginning of this conversation. It's you know, we do not do this alone, whereas we may be the face of what we do. Yeah. We are not the backbone of what we do. And we love so much the fact that I go to work every day and people would say good morning, who was saying good morning to me for 8 years. And I'd sit and eat with the same people for 8 years and welcome new actors and welcome new people to their experience. I watched Emily grow from a small girl into
but what's amazing
into a beautiful woman in a very short space of time.
No, but it's true. When I was shooting in Vancouver recently in November, and I basically was shooting right next to the Supernatural set and went over, and it was still the same crew. It was Brad. Is it Brad? Yeah.
Ready? Forget
it was like it was like it was yesterday. It was really wonderful. Of course, the whole cast was there. We took some fun photos, and Rich was directing actually. And actually, he was a bit annoyed that I came in on set. He was like, "Okay, yeah, gotta shoot." Okay. And but you know, the whole crew. It was like seeing the family over. You know,
Tim, that's where I met you. We didn't actually film together. You were on set with your girls, your two daughters. That's where I met you.
I was filming something else in Vancouver and brought the girls over because my oldest son is a huge fan of the show. So we had a day off and took the girls in to kind of hang out on set and meet everybody. And Ruthie was there and took pictures. It was pretty sweet.
I used to see you all the time in the Gerard.
That many episodes.
Yeah. I used to see you all the time in the Gerard, Tim. We go back to 24. Remember?
Yeah, we do.
It's mind-blowing. We've all known each other for such a long time.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Right before you all said the word, people were saying on the specifically ASE Brute, what you're describing is family, and then you all said the words family. You know, and that's I think what makes this show specifically so successful is that family feeling between yourselves as the faces, as you said, Mark, but then all of the countless people behind the scenes. You know, from the crew to the showrunners to the writers, and everything is why it's lasted. You know, all 15 seasons.
The biggest problem.
It really is, as somebody who came in pretty late in the game, I think another extraordinary thing is that there's always room for more people in this family. It's incredible how, you know, I went in season 11 and I was welcomed. I was, you know, no, there was no sense of like, okay, this is the way we do things, fall into line. Like everyone was eager for what I had to bring to it. I wasn't ever made to feel like I needed to. I mean, I always say that like going into a show that's been running for a while is kind of like going to like being a transfer student and going to a new school, and everyone else like already has all the teachers and all the books, and you're trying to catch up, and it just felt like there was this feeling of like, oh well, of course you're here, come on in. And I feel like it's been that way all along, because every time I run into another actor who's been on the show, it just feels like everyone's part of this same family, whether you were on like one episode or 50 episodes. And that's truly extraordinary. Yeah. As Mark said, you don't get that with every show.
There's a weird thing that we all know, and I hope you guys out there know, is that there was a phrase that's always been used, fanatic. It comes from fanatic. It's the most appalling word that's ever been used to describe people that follow something they love. Because you watch the news and you would see like all these negative things about, you know, groups of fans. And it was a derogatory term that was so negative. And there was this period of time where we looked at it, I hated the word fan. I thought it was awful. And through a series of actions and through a small group of people, the word family came together for Supernatural as opposed to Supernatural Fandom. It used to be the Supernatural Fandom, and it got changed because it was not representative of what was actually happening. What was really happening is what my friends here are describing, which was a growing group, this crazy group of traveling gypsies gathering more and more people the more we traveled the world. And as I said before, people coming in behind what we believe in and what we care about and magnifying it tenfold, 100-fold, and doing these incredible things. And that's worthy of family, not fandom. And I've always hated that. I've always hated that word fan, because it's always such a negative.
And just to give them a shout out, I don't think it would, if Jared and Jensen and Misha too, and the producers, if they had been different, none of it would have trickled down. Yourself being one of those kind of 4 pillars, Mark, none of it would have trickled down to everybody else. It wouldn't be the way it was if it wasn't for the way that those guys.
Look, I make fun of Misha. I make fun of Misha all the time because he's worthy of making fun. But the guy builds hospitals and schools, and there's amazing things going on with each and every one of you, and I'm so proud to be associated with you as people. And there's such a positivity behind this group. There's such a positivity. Most fandoms, as it's called, are so polarizing and so negative. My fandom doesn't like your fandom, and my this doesn't like this, and we prefer this over this. And what we see with this incredible movement is kindness and love and care and compassion. And Rachel and everybody that's ever been a part of this, every single person that I know who has ever been on this show has been touched by this. And has experienced this, and all the conventions that we've done together, and all the times we've got up on stage together, and all the times we've shared those incredible experiences. You lot have all been gutsy. I watched the first time every one of you has ever sung on the stage. Well, not apart from you, Emily, but ever sung to a Supernatural fan.
That was
convention.
It's like every actor's dream to be a rock.
You know what? It's like
even a bad singer.
But it was always a safe place. It was always an incredibly safe and daring place.
Did you ever sing?
No, it made me play drums.
Play drums. I know you played drums. I would have loved to have seen you sing, though.
I do sing.
It's not too late.
Let it be.
My job was taking it from a really bad wedding band experience to try to make it into a show worthy of the musicians and the quality that was there. And we fought between Rob and myself and Rich. We fought really, really hard. And both Gary and Adam at the Creation Cons, they got it, and they finally worked out that we needed a show. We needed to celebrate in that way and share that live experience that we love so much as actors. Yeah. And it's rewarded us 1,000-fold. You guys showing up to smile at us and cheer us just completes that whole thing. I always say it's like, it's to do with, we come from live performance. Hold on a second. No, you can wait.
Going back to Misha, Misha is actually one of the first guys who started this social media gathering and then turned it into something extraordinary. Mm-hmm. I have unbelievable admiration for Misha Collins, for what he's done with the fandom. He actually took this fandom, the family, turned it into a family and turned it into something that was actually humanitarian. His Random Acts Association is something truly extraordinary. And I am so proud to know Misha, not that well, but I think that he is the glue that started.
I was going to say just intimately, but not that well.
Just intimately, just intimately. I spooned him a few times. That's about it.
All have.
Kissed him a few times. We have this sort of on and off again relationship. But I do have a world of admiration for Misha, who really started this sort of charity program, this humanitarian program through the SPN family. He sort of galvanized the whole SPN family.
You also watched an awful lot of people doing supposed charity works from their position and not being particularly successful at it.
Yeah, exactly.
He put so much energy. He put so much energy.
But also you saw what he did. That's the extraordinary.
And he marshaled so many people.
Built schools. He's built,
He's amazing. Don't ever tell anybody, but he's amazing.
He's amazing.
You've already outed yourself too.
No, I hate it. Baby in a trench coat.
We're gonna post that charity for sure. And I know we have a couple of things to get out there. We're actually running out of time. This has been such a blast. My gosh, we could do this for 3 hours. But I want to get one silly question out there that. It's not a silly question, but it's a question a bunch of people have been asking. Hillywood's, Super Freak Cosplay asked a similar question. If you could be any supernatural character besides your own, who would you be? And this also comes from Cassie's Nape 1967. So for one, let's do one fun, silly thing to kind of wrap this up, and then we can all, kind of give our final messages. So a supernatural character you would love to be besides your own.
There is no other character.
Ruth says no one. No one's the best. Sorry,
Nobody wants.
No, I'm good.
No, Mark staying as Crowley.
I love.
Have you got anything?
I love my character.
No, I really don't. I can't imagine trying to do a better job than anyone on this show has done.
There we go.
So I stick with Cain.
Mm.
Now, one other thing I just want to pop in before I pop off. These conventions have really been, they are to me an extension of the show because, again, I didn't do that many, but the family experience, we talk about family. Walking into these conventions and walking into that green room and seeing all you people or whoever I see there is just really just makes my heart grow 7 sizes that day. Because I didn't get to work with a lot of you on the show, but I've gotten to know you through the convention circuit and that traveling circus. And it's just the most amazing thing.
It really is, yeah.
Personally, this fandom, like, the family. When you get sick, the first people you look to are your family. And this supernatural family is really the ones that are, when I got sick with my stroke, really wrapped me up. And then appearing live at conventions and feeling that love and just the support, knowing I could jump off, I could do a stage dive and they would totally carry me anywhere I was going, has been an incredible thing. Ruthie was one of the first people to come visit me when I got sick. Thanks, Ruthie.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know we speak. I speak for the fan when I say congratulations on your recovery with all of that as well. A couple final words from everyone else.
I know. Oh, final words.
Yeah.
Emily, yes.
Thank you.
Emily.
I hope this is just the beginning of more. Like I said, we're as soon as we can get back to the in-person conventions, I think we're all super excited to do that. But I love the innovations that are happening right now, and I hope that this is only the beginning of more of this kind of thing. And just in terms of one personal request I have to help. There's so many good places you can give money right now. My sister-in-law is making masks as well on a huge level, and she's sending them to people all over the country. And so there is a GoFundMe that they've already met their goal, but because they're getting such a high demand for more, they're just going past that. So if you want to give a little money to that, I think that the GoFundMe link will be made available somewhere.
Yes, it will in the chats.
And they're double layered cotton and they've got filters in them. So they're really good quality.
Amazing.
I would happily sit here for a long time and just chat and chat and chat. Thank you so much, Wizard World, for hosting this. Yeah. It was so great to feel productive today and be able to do something and connect. I really appreciate it. And I'm giving 10% of anybody that, everything that I'm earning right now, but anybody that does a video chat or anything afterwards, I'm giving 10% to Random Acts. So just give them another shout out. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to second that. Thank you, Wizard World, for organizing this, and thank you to all the fans out there who some of them are confined in really small spaces. We're glad to be here for you, and we're thinking about you, and hope to do this a little more in the future. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I want to say thank you to all. Thank you to my friends here. It's wonderful to see you. I wish
we could
more often. We may do this secretly on our own over the next few weeks, as they say. I've got a lot of friends in Italy.
In Italy, yeah.
I have a lot of friends in Italy, and I was supposed to be out there, hopefully riding with Valentino Rossi, which isn't going to happen now. It's going to happen a little later. But you can pronounce this better than me, Seb. Protezione Civile, is that correct?
Protezione Civile.
Civile. I knew it was civile. I knew it was. But I'm going to be fundraising for them and trying to put something for them. My friends at Danesi, the motorcycle racing and leathers group, have asked me to put something out there for them, and they're going to be raising money to buy devices and protective devices for doctors and nurses. So, they've hit harder than anyone else. They have an aging population, more so than any other country, and they've been seriously spanked over there, and I want to send them my love. Thank you to everybody. You've been so kind and so generous and so caring with your time and your stuff. We will try to find more ways to be in contact with you. We promise that. We absolutely promise that. And you are what holds us together. It's a lovely thing. It's a beautiful thing. I want you to all be safe. I want you to please remember, you're not being safe just for you. You're being safe for everybody else around you.
Please stay home. Stay home, everyone.
It'll work. It will work.
It will work.
Difficult. It's, support everybody you can. I've got, my 14-year-old has type 1 diabetes and other autoimmune problems. He's upstairs currently doing his schoolwork. My 20-year-old's downstairs trying to stay safe. My 4-year-old's here. We're supporting an awful lot of people here. Keep being kind to those who deliver. Tip well. If you can afford it, tip well.
Yes, tip well.
They're getting nothing in comparison to what they got before.
Yeah.
Everyone's a little scared. If you can help out. Buy local, support your local stores. Anything.
Yeah. And also on the animal front, I'm going to be supporting also PETA and the Humane Society, because there are lots of shelters that are in America now. PETA.
Yes.
PETA. Oh, yeah, that's PETA. That's an actress. But PETA and Humane Society and other, you have to understand also that animal shelters are closing down. And, if you can foster as many.
I'm trying to adopt a cat, but they won't let me have one yet.
Not yet. No.
I'll adopt one of my children instead.
I'll take Will. He's the quietest.
Will is the quietest. He's the most fun. He cooks as well, which is really good.
Bend him over.
Yeah. Listen,
actually,
sorry.
One little dash of positivity I want to put out there for, again, thanking all the healthcare workers. One of my best friends from high school is a healthcare worker up in Seattle, and he was texting me pretty much every day. Just every day, he says the stress level is just getting higher and higher, and they're getting really to the point of emotionally breaking. And he saw something like something online of just someone put on an actor who. God, I can't remember his name. It's married to Emily Blunt. Help me out.
John Krasinski.
Oh, John Krasinski.
I win.
Yay!
So John had done a video of positive things about healthcare workers, and he said, "Tell your associates to do more of this. We all need it."
Oh, good. Yeah. We should do it. Yeah, as much as we can, I think.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Kindness is everything at this time, is it not, Tim?
Yeah.
Kindness is everything.
Kindness is everything.
Support.
That's why we love our blue governors. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're unfortunately out of time, Sebastian.
Everywhere.
Thank you all for being here. There's been so much love and support. So much shout outs to Supernatural Family for Life. It is truly a family more than a fandom. So thank you all for being here. We had a special message from someone out there just wishing this band, you all, of Traveling Gypsies well, to stay safe and stay healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you all
for traveling right now, but we are gypsies.
Yeah, true. Not yet.
We should homebound gypsies.
We should sing Volare by the Gypsy Kings.
Let's do it.
Volare, oh, cantare, oh, la 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 la. I've always been shit at no lyrics, so I'll just go. Oh, come on, Mark, I want to hear your voice. Volare, oh.
Mike is trying to rein us in right now.
You guys,
go on, you can do it. Bring it in, Emily. Give me a loud.
You can sing really well, Emily.
You've got a beautiful voice. You've all got beautiful voices. They're all different.
Everyone here.
Joby, Joba, cada día yo te quiero más. Joby, Joba, cada día yo te quiero más. Joby,
I'm making a bet that your butt cheeks just puckered up when you did that.
Mine or yours?
Yours.
The quarantine is indeed setting in. We can tell.
Yes, it is.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Love you.
My wife says I love too. Love to you all.
Love you, family. Love you. Bye. Love you guys.
Sheppard, Emily, Swallow, Timothy Omundson, Sebastian Roché, and Ruth Connell, everybody. Let's hear it for them. Thank you all.
Yay!
You all can draw.
Bravo to you guys.
rambling on.
Great seeing you guys.
Thank you to all the fans out there. We tried to get to as many questions as we could. If you are interested in asking your more specific questions about different fandoms, whether it be Supernatural or all these other amazing shows that these folks have been in, just go ahead and scroll on down. There is an individual link for each one of these amazing folks to do autographs, voice recordings, one-on-one sessions. The most important thing to do is if you do want that one-on-one video chat, go ahead and book that now. That is all happening now within the next few hours. We're going to give our amazing actors a break, and then we'll be beginning those. The autographs and the voice recordings will happen later, so you still have some time to check that out. And again, remember, we've got some amazing vendors out there, artisans that are making supernatural props and gifts and all kinds of fun stuff. So please check them out at wizardworldvault.com. We're trying to set up the convention center as best we can online as well. So we want them to get some love as well. So again, click on the links below if you'd like to purchase a autograph, video recording, or one-on-one session, or wizardworldvault.com. Oh, two stogies on the screen. Thanks a lot, everybody, and we will see you next time. This Saturday, same time, same place, we'll be with the cast of Once Upon a Time. So,
who?
Once upon a time.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were telling me a story.
Not your show, Mike.
Good job.
I was on that show once.
Already, man.
Thanks again, and thank you all for being with us here today.
Mike, thank you for much.
Joby, Joba, cada día yo te quiero más. Joby, Joby.
Hey, this is Alex Malari Jr., and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Your Emperor commands it. Thanks for watching.